You're watching Tambourine Shirley TV. Today I have with me DesTenee. Hey, DesTenee girl.
Hey, girl.
So I know DesTenee like literally since high school, which was a minute ago, but we here now. Right. Before we get started, there's a little game called A to Z. You basically have to name anything in your industry from A to Z. But you got 2 minutes to do it.
Okay, now?
And I'm going to tell you when to go. 3, 2, go.
Apples. Bananas. I'm going to just start naming stuff. Commercial. Dividends, E, equity, F, finances, G, grocery, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, hospitality, I, integrity, J, jack of all trades, K, kiwis. I can't think of nothing with K. L, limited partnership. M, a market. N, notary. What's at the end? O, opportunity. P, price. Q. Q? What the hell am I gonna do with Q? I can't think of nothing with Q.
Yeah, cute with Q.
A barbecue. We sell meat for your barbecue. Okay. You said letters. Okay. QR. Respect.
25.
S. Sales. T. Time. U. Understanding. V. Variables. W. Watermelons. X. Expensive. I don't know. It's not. It starts with X. Y. Y. Yams. And Z. Zenith.
Zen, like Zen?
No, like, isn't something zenith? Like the highest level of something that it
is. Come on with the words.
That's what I'm trying to get us to be. I'm trying to get us bought by Whole Foods or Trader Joe's one day. They ain't trying to be doing this all the time.
Oh, the blessings over there. Send them to Utica, Jesus. So DesTenee, tell us about yourself. Who are you? Where you from? Your business?
DesTenee Green, born and raised in Mississippi. Grew up in a small town known as Utica, Mississippi. So small, we only have one active red light. And it's not even the red light to say red, yellow, green. It's literally the one that says red, dark, red.
Yes. It's one road, two-way street to get there.
Yeah, you gotta it's only one way to get there and one way out of there. But that's where I grew up at. But my mom wanted to make sure that our education was solid. So she took it upon herself to buy an apartment in Jackson, and I would stay there sometimes throughout the week. And that's how I was able to go to school in Jackson then on the weekend.
Oh, I did not know that. I was like, how did you even go to Murder? Okay.
Yeah, because we had the apartment, and if we wasn't staying at the apartment during the week or whatever, I literally had to get up at 5 a.m. or 5:30 every morning just to get ready to go to school. It was like a 45-minute drive just to get to school. Like you said, we went to the same high school. I was a freshman. You was definitely a senior, 12th grade. And then after that, after Murrah, I went to Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama. Yes, it is historically Black college university. Bust my butt off there. Graduated summa cum laude. I'm gonna keep saying that because I worked for that. Got my degree in chemistry and was able to serve as a student government association president. And from there, that's when I thought that I should have majored in business instead of majoring in chemistry. because I felt that I wanted to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. So I thought chemistry was the right thing for me to do. But my professors and definitely everybody else that I interacted with just knew that I had some type of business acumen. So like that's probably where I should have went, but I didn't. But I was like, I'm not gonna give up on it. Then after that, I started working at L'Oreal USA, the makeup company. Some brands you guys may know or you may not know. Dark and Lovely falls under L'Oreal, Sartain Carson, Giorgio Armani, Lancome, La Roche-Posay, like just different brands. So we have like Lux, Active Cosmetics, Carol's Daughter, Consumer Products Division. It's literally like this huge company. It's huge. So I worked there by the day. It's like I like to call myself a creative strategist. So I am like the liaison between our science in the lab and our external vendors and different things that conduct all of our clinical testing. So whatever you like see on a commercial, on a product, bottle or something like that, I did like all the clinical testing and went through the data to make sure that we're not lying to the consumers once we put it on advertisements, and also what you see once you go grab your product off the shelf. So that's what I do 9 to 5. And then I also have a grocery store back home in Utica, Mississippi. Like I talked about how small and rural it was. So small and like rural to the point where we are considered a food desert. So we really don't have access to fresh foods and meats. And like how my mom had to bus me up to school 45 minutes. That's what she has to go do to get groceries before we brought back in a grocery store within the community. And that's about me. I feel like I covered everything. Yeah,
you did. So that's the reality. Like that 45-minute drive is the reality for a lot of people that live in rural places. So I think it's pretty amazing that you were able to start to open a store for your community and give back to them and, reap the benefit of that too. So how did you, I guess you talked a little bit about how you got into the business, but how did you really get into the business and why were you so interested in starting this grocery store? And then why now?
So we had a grocery store known as like Sunflower. I don't know if everybody's familiar with Sunflower, but it's like always in like these rural areas. But it closed down, I want to say around 2014 or like 2015, like right before I went to college or something like that. Yeah, I think right before I went to college, maybe 2013. So how we actually started the grocery store was my cousins within the family actually was already leasing out like this like commercial property. And they were about to give up the lease and like they couldn't figure out what else they wanted to do with it. So they reached out to my brother and was like, hey, do you think you may want to do something with it? And then he hit me up and was like, so what do you think? Like, maybe this is a business opportunity for us, because he already owns like a restaurant within Jackson. So he was like, maybe we can do something here. And then like we just started thinking like, okay, maybe it's a grocery store. Like, how can we help the community? My mom is getting older. Like, she don't need to be driving up and down like, the highway and stuff just to get fresh food.
Right.
You start thinking
about life in Utica. You can't, you got to go during the daytime.
And then everybody's not able. Like, you look at the economic status within Utica, like you have like the elderly that can't really go, they can't drive or anything like that. Then you have the people that just don't have the financial means to like find a car, or they own a car. Then you have to find the gas money just to go 45 minutes to get the groceries. And we have a Dollar General there, but it's a lot of processed foods, so like all your pastas and like stuff, not really healthy stuff, like a lot of frozen dinners and things like that, but like nothing that was really like substantial to your health.
Right.
So we all just came together with my cousins and my brother, and we was like, okay, let's just start a grocery store. And my brother helped us coordinate all the logistics with the inventory, with the vendors that they already made connections with the restaurant in Jackson. So the same vendors or merchants that were like providing them with meats and different things like that, we just set up another network connection with them, and now they like bus or like drive down the inventory to Utica for us as well. So that part was a little easy, because a lot of people ask me like, well, how did y'all set up the logistics and different things like that? But based upon like my brother already having that connection, that was like the easy part for us. And like a lot of our research and like the data that we did before we opened up the store, we rely heavily on my cousins and like my mom. So like my cousins kind of know what's going on because they live in Utica. They've been growing up there. Then we relied on my mom to like tackle the elder demographic to see what they need in the store, what are they looking for. And like we really just tried to make this like inclusive as possible to start the grocery store. And then my other reason, like I know I'm in Jersey, but I still wanted to find a way to give back. I know I don't live there, but I still want to be able to give back to my hometown. Eventually, I want to own a property there, but I also wanted to create generational wealth. And I want like this was my first stepping stone to potentially creating something for like my unborn children.
Right.
Like I want to create a legacy down the line. This is something that I want to establish. Open another grocery store, open another grocery store, open another one. Like just make sure that everybody has something once I leave or before I leave, basically.
Right. And that's super important too. A lot of people don't talk about that. Yeah, they want us to stay broke forever, and that's not the case.
I'm not trying to be broke forever. No, you're not broke around here.
So, how was the licensing part of it? And the actual, okay, I gotta open a bank account. I gotta get an IRS code. I have to get this license and get this permit.
So, believe it or not, that part was easy for us. Like a lot of people think that certain things like that are just like unattainable, but like research is everywhere. Like you can read and find anything. You just gotta read and know where you're going to look for it. So like we relied heavily on like we reached out to like some of the managers that like own Piggly Wigglies and different things like that. Or if we knew somebody that like worked at Walmart, like how do they go through like all their logistics? We talked to other small business owners, like see what exactly do we have to go through to like set this up. So the licensing part was easy. Like we got our business identification number. That was easy. We also put in our beer and tobacco licenses.
Mm-hmm.
That part was easy. We set up EBT. So like people that want to come in and use like their food stamps and different things, they can set that up. We didn't hit a brick wall until we tried to like open the store within the town. Like I hate to say it, but like the city officials made it harder for us than I believed that it needed to be.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy because you know we want to live in this world where all skin folk is kinfolk. It's not. Like we want to believe and hold on to that. Like we want to support each other. We do. There are a lot of people that want to do that. But you also have people that feel some type of way if they feel like they were not involved or they feel like their opinion wasn't taken into consideration. So like I remember like it was moving too slow for me. Whatever was happening, they weren't doing it. I remember flying home to Mississippi from Jersey. And like I was walking the licenses inside the city hall, like saying, "You gonna sign this today?" Like I'm flying out tomorrow. You gonna sign this today? And like them trying to give us the runaround, and not to say like all of them are part of like the city council were trying to hold us back, but it was some key figures in there that I were doing too much. But see, you just had to be resilient. Had to be persistent. Don't give up. And like we were able to move forward. We were able to make connections with people. Like in once the grand opening happened, like of course, like the city officials were there. They saw the ribbon cutting and all that type of stuff. And we just really tried to make sure that we smooth this out. So once we start moving forward, we don't hit like any bumps in the road or anything. Like there was this whole issue because when we were trying to sell beer, we can't sell liquor, but we can sell beer.
In Utica, period?
Yeah. Couldn't sell liquor, but we can sell beer. Like there's another license that you have to do to sell liquor.
Yeah.
They pulled out this grandfather ordinance that was grandfathered in. They had no black and white documentation on this ordinance. It was just a rule that was established, but it wasn't written down. And it basically said that we could not sell beer 500 yards or 500 feet in front of a church. And there was one man that's a part of the city.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there.
They still don't walk there.
Girl, there was one man, Caucasian gentleman, who basically was saying that he did not feel comfortable and that other Caucasian people within the town did not feel comfortable with us opening the store because it's going to bring the wrong crowd. Exactly. Uh, basically saying, I took that as, y'all only got a problem with this because we black and we trying to run a business. That's y'all issue. It ain't that we gonna bring, like, how can a grocery store bring in the wrong type of people? We trying to help y'all out. We trying to help y'all out. Do you know that this man went to all the surrounding churches, the other like white churches, and got them to sign a petition to stop us from selling beer? Talking about he on the deacon board and the pastor don't agree with this girl. All this type of stuff. Do you know that I did a quick Google search on the state of Mississippi beer and liquor license and found that the state of Mississippi, whatever their law is, it trumps whatever like town or city ordinance. So once I got that in black and white, a quick Google search. Once I got that in black and white and scanned it to them, and we like they had a whole town hall meeting. It was like, oh, I guess you guys can sell the beer now. I mean, since y'all found the law that says that y'all can. Like, I don't know who y'all thought y'all was dealing with, but listen, we don't do that. So yeah, it wasn't hard to get the licenses and different things like that. It was the people that was set up trying to block us from this blessing. But we bulldozed through all of that. It was just a bump in the road for us. That was the hardest part. The hardest part was the politics of it all.
And that's generally what happens. How long has the store been open now?
So the store opened September 28th, 2019. So we're creeping up on year one. And most businesses don't make it to year one.
They don't.
So like, let's just keep this truck and move along so we can make it to year one.
Well, I'm glad y'all still open despite the whiteness that tries to overtake.
Girl, it was a mix. It just wasn't them. It was anybody who felt like we was above them. And then like they like to bring up this whole like elitist type thing. Like, oh, y'all done left and got these college degrees and now y'all think y'all above us. No.
That's not Southern.
That's not what we saying. We trying to help y'all.
Right,
now, what I do take in consideration as a learning is I wasn't there, but I wish that if I was in Mississippi, I think I would have made a point to make those connections with the city officials before it opened, ask them for their input, to just make sure nobody felt like, we were overstepping or thinking that we were over them, because you don't want that stereotype hanging over your head while you try to start a business. Like, you don't want that type of reputation within the town that you're trying to serve.
But generally, change does kind of make people a little shaky, even though they don't. I guess sometimes people don't mean bad. They just like, ooh, change. Let me.
I'm uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
The point is, we need to not be comfortable. You should always be like trying to improve upon yourself, trying to break barriers, trying to step out of like these stereotypes and like, how can we progress? Because we trying to bring in this business, and hopefully once this takes off, we can bring in more businesses and we can start generating the economy within this town, start creating more jobs. But if y'all acting like this at the beginning, like we got to work some things out. Like, we can't progress like this. Y'all got to work this out. Yeah. But that's how we look at it.
So how do you balance? First of all, you're in Jersey, which is a long way from Mississippi. You have a 9-to-5. I know you're doing other things too. You have a social life and you have a business. How do you balance everything, and how does it all come together?
How does it all come together? I think I'm still trying to figure that part out. But it's almost as if I have to take off a hat and then put on another hat. And then it's almost like, not to say that I have like multiple personalities or something, but it's almost as if like I wake up in the morning and be like, all right, what do I need to do for the business before my 9 to 5 requires my presence? So like I'll try to hurry up and like send an email. Like I'll try to talk to my brother or something that morning before he has to get my niece or something ready for school. Like I'm trying to do small stuff. Like you like, bruh, if everybody just understood the powers just getting up a little bit earlier, just a little bit earlier, like while everybody's like still asleep, like you can get so much stuff done. So I try to do that in the beginning of my morning, or like read or like meditate or something like that, and then start my 9 to 5. On my lunch breaks, 30 minutes is probably dedicated to me eating, and 30 minutes is probably dedicated to me doing something else that pertains to the business. Like I'm trying to maximize all my time within the day. And then once I get off work, I try to take like maybe an hour or two for me. Like read, cook dinner, something like that. Look at like my stock portfolio. What did we do today? What do I need to do tomorrow for my stocks and stuff like that? And then I'll step back into like, okay, I need to talk to my mama. I need to figure out what's going on, because I think the good thing about keeping this business within the family is that we can rely on each other.
Right.
Like my mom makes like all the deposits. Like she'll go there, a neat freak. I watch my mom on my phone on like our security cameras and stuff. So like I can see everything. I can also hear everything. So I can hear, like she'll talk to me through the camera and stuff like that as she clean up. Like when I'm watching her, like making sure that she's safe or whatever like that. My sister come up there some days, like make sure that the doors unlocked for like the inventory and stuff to come in. My brother also comes in like on the weekends and stuff and make sure that everything is fine. He's also handy with his hands. So like anytime a cooler or something like breaks, or like if something needs to be fixed, like he'll come up there and fix it. So it takes a village.
Yeah. Literally.
Do I fail sometimes? Yes. Do relationships suffer? Yes. There are times when I may not talk to friends or like people that I socialize with and stuff up here, and it's just because I have to make a choice on why am I here? Like how bad do I want it? Because I'm trying to get this to be like autonomous. I don't want to have to keep managing and putting in like all this energy. I'm getting it to the point where like this stuff should just be a smooth sailing boat by itself. It should just coast. Like it's definitely been a lot. Sometimes I'm doing good, and then sometimes I drop the ball, and that's okay. I can't be a perfectionist all the time, even though I want to be. But like this has really taught me how you can't be in control of everything. I can't see everything. I can't be in there. I can't greet every customer that walks through the door, but I can listen and see how how our employees are interacting with customers. If I catch something, I'm gonna call them and we gonna check it if I hear it. Like that's how I feel like I have been able to balance it all. But like there's a lot of time where I'm not sleeping when I need to be. There's a lot of times when I'm just like, you know what? I need a day. I'll take off. Like I told you, I took off today, but I spent majority of my time working on the grocery store on my off day.
Right.
So it's just like juggling. And I think another positive thing as of now is I'm only taking care of me. I don't have like I'm not married. Right. Yeah. Like I wonder how my brother does it. Like 2 businesses, a full-time job, a wife, and a 2-year-old. Nah.
It's a lot.
Sometimes I get over myself. I be like, girl, we just need to chill out. Like,
not do nothing.
Calm down. Stop talking. Just sometimes I have to do myself like that. So that's definitely like a positive, but I've also just want to make sure that I don't run myself in the ground. Like right. I'm still young. I don't want to overexert myself, but I also have the energy and I'm capable to like sacrifice a lot right now. Yeah. I got that part. So I think to sum all that up, I know that took like a long answer. It's just me wearing different hats and trying to figure out what hat I need to put on and what hat I need to take off.
And in 5 years, you will be in a different place because you've done all of this back work. It's groundwork. And it's just not easy. So
The goal is to not have the 9 to 5.
yeah.
That's my goal. I want to have multiple streams of income to where it's like, okay, all of that is my 9 to 5 and then some. Like
Amen.
that's how I want it to be.
Name it, claim it. So, if there's something you would tell to the next person, what would it be about starting a business, possibly even starting a grocery store, or anything you can think of?
Build your plane before you try to take off. I say that because a lot of people would try to put an aircraft in the sky and you ain't got no wheels, you ain't got no brakes, you barely got an engine that works.
You right quick.
And it's just like you cannot run and sustain a business when your aircraft is falling apart, or if it doesn't have the foundation that it needs to have. So make sure, let's build this aircraft right now. Let's build the aircraft.
Come on now.
Do you have a business plan? You got a business plan? All right. That should be the skeleton of your aircraft. You ain't even, this is just the bolts and the screws. You ain't even got no metal or no steel over there. You ain't got nothing yet. This is just the bolts and the screws.
Come on.
All right.
Okay.
Do you have any equity, any capital? Like, what do you have to put up for it? Okay, maybe you don't have nothing. That's okay. How are you going to go get it? I don't know.
That is a good question. How do you go and get it?
How do you go get it? There are so many resources out there. Y'all, Google. That's it. YouTube. I have taught myself how to trade on the stock market with YouTube. It is possible. I made $200 yesterday, and all I did was open my eyes. I made $200 by 9:30. That was it.
She teaches some, y'all.
I ain't have nothing to do with that. But listen, find your resources. There are grants out there. There are loans. There are small business loans. Find you some investors. Google what a venture capitalist is. What's an angel investor? What do you need to pitch to them? Make a pitch. Make a slide deck. Follow some inspirational people on Instagram. What are they talking about? Do they own the business? What do they do? Because once you start absorbing like all this stuff around you subconsciously, it's just going to help you build more on your aircraft. So, all right, you got some funds, all right? You got your business plan. You going to do this by yourself? If you can do it by yourself, you can do it by yourself. Is your business model sustainable with just you running it? At the beginning, maybe.
That's a valid question.
Do you see growth?
Especially as a Black woman, we be wanting to do everything, and it's just.
And we gotta stop that. I think the one thing that I wish I could take back from growing up was that I needed to work twice as hard. I don't think like that no more. No. I need to work smarter, not harder. Smarter. Yes, hard work is involved. Work ethic is important, but let's work smart to where you're not just running yourself in the ground. All right, so you got a team. What you want your team to look like? Who do you need? Do you need a person that's like your financial advisor or a bookkeeper? Are you going to be the marketing person? What's the brand strategy looking like? What's the aesthetics looking like? What's your target consumer demographic? What is the data showing you? Is your product even going to be successful once you put it out? Is this something that people need? Or are you just out here creating something like being tone deaf to what's going on in the world out there? Like, what are we doing here? All right. So now you got to shake the shell of your aircraft. All right. You got your team together. Thank God. All right. Do you have like your vendors and all your other people in place? Is your engine there? Now, the engine is right up in here. Right up in here. If you ain't got the heart, the grit, the tenacity, the courage, the boldness to even step out here on faith with this business, your aircraft ain't going nowhere. That's what's going to make it fly.
Right.
You're going to crash. Because you could be flying, everything is good. What you going to do when you hit some turbulence? What you going to do is something just come and rock your world.
You can't quit.
What you going to do?
You got loans. You got credit.
You got people depend. You got a team. You got to pay these people back for the loans. Or if you went and got a grant, your grant ain't even got approved yet. You ain't got accepted for it yet. Because grants sometimes they take longer. And it's just like, if you got investors, they want to see a return on investment depending on the terms that y'all worked out. Like, what are you going to do? Are you just going to land your plane and run for life and get out? Are you just going to jump out of it? Or are you going to look at the plan that you created for yourself, look at the radar and the signal and be like, you know what? I think we can turn this way and go that way. And we can stay out of the turbulence. So I think it's just, you need to build your aircraft first. Make sure it's sound. Make sure it's strong. Make sure that it is grounded in some type of foundation. Your mission statement, your vision for what it needs to be. You need to have something. I don't want to say it needs to be your purpose, but it needs to wake you up out of the bed. Because some people just want to start a business to create something, generational wealth, or get a check or something like that. They're not really looking for the purpose part.
Yeah.
But even with that aspect, like, how much time are you going to put into this? How bad do you want it? Because now you could just leave all those parts there and somebody else can come and build the aircraft. Let them do it. But that's just what I say. I also think that you need to be in tune with what's going on in the world around you. You can't be in a cocoon or like some type of bubble. You need to be able to watch everything. I got invested in the stock market because I had business. I wanted to see how are these other shareholders or how are these other companies carrying out their day-to-day. These companies that I invest in, they have quarterly earnings calls. So where you can actually call in and listen to their profits. What was their earnings? What were their losses? What do they see in the future? For me, I should be listening to Target's earning calls. I should be listening to Walmart. I should be listening to Dollar General. What do they see for the future? How are they handling COVID-19? How are they pivoting? Because once I know how the big people do it, this is just free information for me. Some people would kill to be in the boardroom, and you can't just while being on the phone, a conference call. It's just a call. And then they also will send you their entire earnings reports.
Yeah.
As a shareholder, you are privy to the information. You get to see all of it. So like, I just need people, like, whether you going into skincare, whether it's the fashion industry, anything like that, you need to be in the loop on everything that's happening around you within your business industry or sector. You cannot be operating as if it's just what you say and that's how it's gonna go. There's a lot of other factors that like play a part in that.
Well, amen to that. Y'all got that? I hope you did. Take out your pencil if you did not and press rewind. Okay? Okay?
Yeah.
Nuggets, gems, all day. So, for our last segment, we have something called Shirley Shakeup.
Okay.
Your last text message is the title of your next book. How are you going to use that to shake up the world?
My last text message was, okay, I'm doing the interview, love. That's all it said. Okay, I'm doing the interview, love. My book. It's supposed to be a book, right?
It's the title of your next book.
I think my book would be me going around and interviewing all the people who are behind the scenes of some of the most influential people that we look up to. So it wouldn't be me talking to Beyonce. It wouldn't be me talking to Oprah or Michelle or like Jeff Bezos or like anybody else, because those people are like those people are serious about their craft and what they do. But I want to know the details, like who really is in these rooms and these back offices shaking hands, who's making these decisions, who's on these secret calls with the White House, those type of interviews, to just show you like, this is what y'all think y'all know. I'm going to take it back to VH1. You think you know, but you have no idea. And I think that would be like a cool book. I watched a documentary. I think the man's name is Clarence Avant. I think that's his name is. The godfather of like the music industry or something.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. But basically, when you look at like all these powerful pictures and stuff that sometimes we see on Instagram and social media and stuff, it's always the same man in each of the pictures. And it's like, who is that man? Basically, it's a whole documentary about him, about how when Michael Jackson was supposed to like release some album, but he was still in contract with somebody over here, but the album was gonna be released with somebody like that. They was about to sue Michael in the middle. Each record label, somebody to move. It was a movie and a record label. Something was going on. They called in Clarence to figure out and negotiate the terms amongst them because they was about to sue each other. They was like, oh no, we need to call Clarence. Clarence needs to work this out for us. And he worked it out. Clarence has worked with Diddy.
He's literally worked with
everybody. But he's been behind the scenes making those business deals. That's who I want to interview. Because sometimes we never get to talk to those people. You just know. You just never know. I want to talk to those people. I think that'll be a good book to like help the world in the future. It could be anybody. Like, yeah, I want to talk to Deepak Chopra. But who is in there meditating with that man? Who really know him? That's who I want to talk to. People like that.
If you watching this, who in the room with you? We need to know.
Listen, who was in the gym with you shooting? Okay. Who was really in there with you? I would have
get legs with you, bruh.
I actually had an idea for that for a podcast. I think I submitted it to Spotify when they was doing that thing. They like declined it. They rejected it. Like, this is not a good idea.
Declined a lot of people. One of my other friends did it too. It's like, who did y'all pick?
I think that'll be either I would do that or it would be, do you believe in like, I don't want to say this without sounding crazy.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, I wish that there was a way that like I could interview myself, but like from the viewpoint not of me being dead or something like that. Like, I would have to figure it out. But I think that'll be another cool book. Like, okay, love, I'm doing the interview. Like, I'm talking to myself. I don't know. There may be a whole mental health book for all I know.
Yeah, like you could be looking at yourself.
Yeah.
While interviewing yourself. Yeah. You might have to be a little,
Kind of figured it out, but yeah.
Well, DesTenee, thank you so much for coming on the show. Can you tell people?
It's over.
Can you tell the people how to reach you?
A Blissful Soul, BLISSFUL SOLE, like the sole of your shoe, because I love sneakers. So Blissful Soul on Instagram and Twitter. I don't post often, but if you DM me, I will respond.
And what about your grocery store?
So it's Main Street Market. I'm currently working on some new things that are happening for Main Street Market. We're shaking up some things over there. But I'm working on the website. But as of now, we are on Facebook, so it's just Main Street Market, like Facebook/Main Street Market.
Oh.
We have like a page.
Well, thank you so much.